We started off with a potentially really tricky game away to Ross County, and we got the first of many, as it turned out to be, cup victories against Ross County. 5-0 we won. And Ali Graham, our big striker, who featured all the way throughout the cup run, got a hat-trick. I think it's the only hat-trick he ever scored. I know it's the only hat-trick he ever scored for us. After that, we took on Kilmarnock here at Starks Park, and it was another hat-trick, a Colin Cameron hat-trick, to beat, at the time, and still are, Premier League Kilmarnock 3-2. After that, we had a game up in McDermott Park against St Johnstone. Memorable for Sean Dennis's headed goal, and whilst we were winning 2-1, at the very end we got a breakaway goal to get a 3-1 victory with Danny Lennon, who went on to be a key, an important manager and a key player for many clubs, getting the goal on the breakaway to seal the deal. After that, it was the semi-final, and we were back at McDermott Park to play Airdrie, again another first division team. And in that game, that's when it all seemed to really come together. Down to 10 men, and we eventually triumphed in a 5-4 victory in the penalty shootout. The decisive penalty kick, Alan Lawrence stepped up to take it, and Brian Potter saved it, so we're in the final. It was a mixture of hope, expectation, so the hope that you would pull off a major shock, the expectation that, let's be honest, it's Celtic in Glasgow, a well-established team who've been at the top of Scottish football forever, against us. No, if I'm being brutally honest, I expected us to be plucky runners-up. We'd have a goal, we'd have a few chances, we'd give them a bit of a scare at times. But if I'm being honest, yeah, I didn't see us doing it. Because it happened relatively early in the game, at first it was almost as if you didn't believe it actually happened. You were just waiting for the inevitable offside flag or some other infraction being highlighted by the officials. And when you realised that the ball had actually gone in and it wasn't going to be pulled back for a foul or offside, it was bedlam. Amazing stuff. To be honest, when they got the equaliser, through Andy Walker, and they got that in the first half as well. You could see that coming, because our taking the lead really, it lit a fire under them. Relentless pressure after equalising, and it seemed inevitable that the goal to put them ahead would come, and indeed it did, when Charlie Nicholas netted on the rebound after Andy Walker hit the post. At that point I was thinking, well, we had a goal, we scored a goal, we gave them something to think about, we weren't disgraced. But those emotions changed very quickly. They got the ball in the middle of the pitch and fed it out wide to Jason Dare, and he was faced with, I think it was that man Tom Boyd that was in front of him. He got the better of him, got a bit of a deflection, got a shot away, and it seemed to go straight at Gordon Marshall, and he went down for it. The ball, from nowhere, the ball just popped up and to about face height, and Gordon Dalziel famously put it in with what he says was his nose. But with the momentum we built up with the good performance in extra time, I was more confident about the end of extra time than I was about the rest, the full 90 minutes. And because we'd gone through penalty shootout in the previous round in the semi-final against Airdrie, I knew we had form. We'd been through it, we'd experienced the pressure. What we couldn't account for was the fact that it was Ibrox, 3/4 of the ground was Celtic, so whichever end of Ibrox we took the penalties at, you'd be shooting into Celtic fans. It was unavoidable, so it was just a question how they would cope. You're thinking, you know, Celtic legend, Scotland regular, you know, many Celtic fans' favourite ever player, the most influential player. You're thinking, even though he didn't have a great reputation of penalty scoring, you know, it was unthinkable for the skipper to miss. And something that happened in the semi-final, Brian Potter on the decisive penalty, rather than roll the ball out to Alan Lawrence, he tossed it into the air so that he had to look up into the floodlights to catch it and then put it on the ground. Scott Thompson has talked about it since, and he did the same to Paul McStay. Rather than, he'd rolled it out to everyone else, I think, or just tossed it to them, but he tossed the ball through the air, high up into the air, so that McStay had to, you know, reach up for the ball and put his eyes and, you know, get the floodlights in it. They literally were dancing in the streets of Kirkcaldy.